Okay. Hare Krishna. We are going to do a recap of the chapter 5 based on this PowerPoint presentation done by ISKCON Malaysia. And then it's dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Chapter 5 is called Karma Yoga, Action in Krishna Consciousness. Action in Krishna Consciousness. Whatever we do here, there's a warrior fighting. Here, there is a discourse, spiritual discourse happening between devotees. Here, there is cow protection. Then here, someone is plowing the field and everyone is doing their duty, keeping Krishna in the center. That is Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. So we don't see that they are only sleeping or they are doing nothing. No, each is doing their duty, keeping Krishna in the center. So Arjuna said, "Oh Krishna, first of all, you asked me to renounce work. And then again, you recommend work with devotion. Now, will you kindly tell me definitely of the two, which is more beneficial?" So Arjuna had some doubt. And so we can see how Arjuna is putting very intelligently the questions to clarify the doubts for our benefit. Now, the Supreme Personality of Godhead replied, "The renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation, but of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work." So Arjuna is telling Krishna, you want me to renounce or you want me to work? What do you want me to do? Work in devotion. You're telling me first you renounce work. Then you're telling me work with devotion. So you tell me which is better. So Krishna is saying, both are good for liberation. But if you ask me which is better, work in devotion is better for liberation. So merely renouncing all activities, yet not engaging in the devotional service of the Lord cannot make one happy. But a thoughtful person engaged in devotional service can achieve the Supreme without delay. So a person, he may say, I'm going to do nothing. I'll just go to the forest and I'm going to give up everything. And I'm going to sit there and try to do meditation. And the other is here, the devotees. So here, this is the yogi. And here, they are the devotees who are chanting and dancing in Hari. They're doing Harinam, spreading the glories of the holy name. So which is better? Krishna is saying, of course, you do Harinam. That is better. Because then you will get the Supreme without delay. If you take up this process of renouncing, it may take you lifetimes and lifetimes to achieve the Supreme. But if you take up work in devotion, you can achieve it in this very life. This is what. So work in devotion, keeping Krishna in the center. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because while speaking, evacuating, receiving, or opening or closing his eyes, he always knows that only the material senses are engaged with the objects and that he is aloof from them. So a learned person, a person in divine consciousness, he understands. He understands, okay, I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm smelling, I'm touching, I'm eating, I'm moving about and sleeping. But he's understanding that, hey, I'm the soul. I'm not the body. It's just the body that's doing it. I am aloof from this body, so I'm not doing anything. It is only the senses. The eyes are seeing the object of the sense. The nose is smelling something. The ears are hearing something. But I am not my eyes, or I'm not the nose, or I'm not the ears. It is just, as we were hearing recently, that the combination of false ego in the mode of, ignorance. Then it creates the material elements and it creates all these sense objects, right? So the person in divine consciousness, he can understand it, that it is just the false ego and the modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. That is what I'm seeing around everything. For us, we get bewildered. Oh, this is an object. We get bewildered. But a person in divine consciousness knows it's false ego combined in the mode of goodness or passion or ignorance. And that's what this material world is all about. And that I am a spirit soul. I am part and parcel of God. Is that okay?
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we see Srila Prabhupada, although he appears to be acting with his body and senses, he's always conscious of his actual position, which is spiritual engagement. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, text 8 to 9, purport. So that's a purport by Srila Prabhupada. And then we see here Prabhupada is cutting something, I think it's some fruit, but his consciousness is totally divine, Krishna conscious. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. So Krishna is saying that we need to perform our duty without being attached to the result. And the result, what shall we do? Surrender it to the Supreme Lord. And in this way, we will be in the world, but not of the world. We will be like a lotus leaf, which does not touch the water. It's untouched by the water. So we work. It's not that we stop working. We work as we are needed to. The result, offer it for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. This is what Krishna is saying. This is karma yoga. Karma yoga. So karma yoga does not mean that we give up everything and just sit and meditate. No, we do whatever is needed to be done for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. We offer the results to the Supreme Lord. The steadily devoted soul attains unadulterated peace because he offers the result of his activities to me, whereas a person who is not in union with the divine, who is greedy for the fruits of his labor, becomes entangled. So here we see a devotee family. They are sitting together and doing kirtan. So they are happy, they are blissful, so this is activity. Doing kirtan is an activity, and they are doing the activity for the pleasure of the Lord. And so, because of that, they are peaceful, they are happy. But here we see a family which is on the mobile phones, which is the current status of the majority of us currently. And what happens? We get entangled. We get entangled in the results. The humble sages, by virtue of true knowledge, see with equal vision a learned and gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater outcast. So, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmne Gavi Hastini Shunicheva Swapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. So a Pandit, he's a Samadarshinaha. He sees with equal vision. He sees equal vision, a gentle Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, and a dog-eater. So how is that he's able to have equal vision? Is because he can see the Paramatma in everyone's heart. He understands that this outside, it's just a covering. The cow, the body of the cow is a covering. But inside the body of the cow is the soul, the living entity, and the super soul, the Atma and the Jivatma. Same when he's seeing an elephant, he's saying this is the body only. Inside this body, there is the Jivatma and the Paramatma. Same in the body of a Brahmana. Paramatma is there and the Jivatma is there. And he understands that, oh, this Jivatma, he has the body of a Brahmana because he did not misuse his independence. He made the correct choices. So that's why he's in the body of a Brahmana. Whereas the living entity, who is in the body of an elephant or a lion, he's misused his independence, and that's the reason he is in such a body. He's equal. He understands. He's seeing the super soul in all the bodies. He's seeing the soul and the super soul, both of them. He's not seeing the body, but he's seeing with a spiritual vision, seeing through the eyes of the scripture. He may not be able to physically see it, but he understands. He understands the scriptures. So, is it okay? We'll stop here for today.
Yeah.
Did you have any comments or anything to add?
I just heard one of the lectures of Adi Gadadhar Prabhu on Bhakti Shastri, and there he was mentioning that we all say that they are karmis, or I don't want to associate with karmis. These people are karmis, but he said that karmis are also very, very high level. Like, you think that a person who is sitting in an office and who's eating without offering to Krishna, they are also karmis. They are not karmis. The karmis are only the one who do things according to scriptures in connection with Krishna. Like, maybe they are trying, they don't offer the results, but they're doing the pious thing. A person sitting in an office eating meat, or they are not karmis. But he said that he was also shocked to know, because we all say, oh, no, they are, like how when we go at a higher level, a little higher, people go in Krishna consciousness and they say, no, they are karmis. But no, they are also not karmis. So even I was little astonished about it. And then we are doing the karma topic today. So can you please
Well, see, the idea is never to look down on anyone. We are all individual souls, and each of us have an independent will, free will. So it's never good to look down on anyone and label anyone or criticize anyone. That, oh, I'm higher than you. No, never that attitude should be there at any position in our life. So we should try to come to this point of Samadarshinaha, that everyone is in a different body. We are all having our independent choice. The Paramatma is there in our heart. Who are we to criticize another person and judge another person? Who are we to judge who is a karmi, who is not, and who is a devotee and who's not? As for ourselves, we should try to follow all the rules and regulations to the best of our capability. And for others, never judge them, because, just try to look within, try to see where we are going, see how we could do better chanting, better reading, that not to label or criticize anyone else. Yeah, at least that's my 2 cents on it. At least that's what's my outlook on it. Huh?
Yeah. It's nice. Yeah. That's why I was little. So I thought that.
Yeah, because then if we are thinking,
he was also explaining,
and because if we are thinking that, I'm sorry.
He was also explaining because somebody asked the question. So even I was, because I never heard that. Frankly speaking, I have never heard that. So that's why even I just wanted to ask.
Because if we think, oh, I'm a devotee and you are lower than me, then what are we doing? We are just becoming a servant of our false ego more. We are just getting more puffed up in our pride. Whereas we are supposed to respect each and every living entity. We are not supposed to condemn or criticize anyone. We don't have to follow what others are doing. We need to follow whatever rules and regulations are there for us to follow. But that does not give us a right to criticize anyone. Right? We can't be critical of others or judge others or think ourselves better than others. That's the point. At least, as I said, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
And so this is what we are trying to understand in this verse, that we should do this position, should try to raise ourselves to this consciousness. See, everyone is a part and parcel of God, and see the Paramatma in everyone, and we should try to look within us to see how can I improve, what I need to do. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, because I'm not very sure of the example, as you're saying, of what this Prabhu said. I couldn't quite follow it, but at least on this
he was
topic, at least this is what this is my bit on this topic, basically.
Like it came up in Srimad Bhagavatam, and then he was just trying to tell that who karmis are actually. He was giving the definition of the karmi, that what a karmi is actually. Like he was not comparing or anything. He just simply said that who karmi is. Like who is the real karmi according to the Shastras. So he was
And what did he say?
And then he said that the karmis are the one who do their work according to Shastras. Like even if they are doing the auspicious work, they are karmis. Not the karmi is not the one who's sitting in an office, and if you think that they are eating meat and they are just doing their work and they have no charity done, no austerity done, they're not doing anything.
Okay, so he means to say a karmi is a person who's following the karma kand, basically.
Yes.
Okay. He's saying the people who are doing karma kand, they are actually karmis.
Yeah,
okay,
not the person who are not even following the karma kand. They can't be called karmis. So he was just clarifying that, like how this is, because people have such, and even I was shocked, like I haven't heard that before. So he was just giving his few examples. He said that what actually the karmis are, we have a misconception, we consider them as karmis, but they are not. So he was just telling the definition of like who actually a karmi is.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because
Thank
they were
you.
also talking about the pravritti and the nivritti marg, and then they were sharing the examples from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Just like we read, they also read. So they were sharing the like examples from Bhagavatam of the pravritti marg, nivritti marg. So yeah, so then I thought that maybe I'll get little more clarification of this karma. Yeah, but then your clarification is also very nice. Yeah, that the less we judge and the less we think about.
Yeah, because who are we to judge,
Yes, absolutely. And we should just think about our service and help others and not judge.
Yeah, because then that becomes like critical. When we become critical of others, then we are just becoming puffed up in our own pride, and then Krishna does not like pride.
Yeah. And I think the knowledge is, we are reading for our understanding, not to put somebody down.
Exactly.
Right? We are reading for our knowledge, that we don't commit mistakes. We can become a better Krishna conscious person. We are not reading to show off, or we are not reading to pull someone down. Yeah, I like that point of yours. Yes, I'll keep that in mind always.
Yes, and by reading, what we are doing is that not only are we learning, but we will be in a position to help others. We'll be in a position to also spread this knowledge to others. So,
Yeah. That's really nice. Yeah, thank you.
To serve others. Serve, that is actually service. When we are able to connect others to Krishna, connect others to Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yeah.
That is service. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. So we should take a position of compassion, that I can serve in this way. Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila
Ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai,
Ki
Gaur
jai.
Bhakta Vrinda ki
Govind
jai,
ki
Hare
jai.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.